Hello everyone, this is Kyle from Milster Gardens, and today I'm joining you from our super cold garage. The reason why I'm in here today is because we're going to be building a propagation station using bottom heat. So this time of year you could do some propagation called hardwood cutting propagation, and that's just one of a couple different ways you can propagate via cuttings. The first way you can propagate via cuttings is softwood cuttings during the spring, and then you can do semi-hardwood cuttings, and when plants go dormant during the winter, you can do hardwood cuttings. So I've done hardwood cuttings before, and I've had a lot of success with that. But something that I'm really interested in trying is trying the hardwood cutting, but also adding the bottom heat. And I've been doing some research on that, and I've seen other YouTube videos and other online resources that have described how to do this. So I'm going to do my take on this and show you the type of bottom heat propagation bed that I'll be creating today. First and foremost, the most important thing is that the space that you're doing it in is cold. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but I can see my breath. And this is in the garage, which is, 10 or 15 degrees warmer than outside. But the reason why it needs to be cold in here is we want our cuttings, or not air quotes, our actual cuttings, to be dormant. So the cold is important. And the science behind it is when I stick the cuttings in the warm medium, the bottoms will root faster while the tops stay cold and dormant. All right, so the first step that I'm doing is I literally created a box. So I put the box on top of a work table that we hide our scrap lumber under. So we use 2 by 6 by 8s just for it would have a couple more inches of depth as opposed to using a 2 by 4. And we created a box. It's not super huge because this is for experimentation purposes. This is the first time I ever tried doing this. So I believe it's roughly 3 feet by like maybe 4 feet. So it's not a huge area, but if I do this right and we're going to be filling it up with perlite, it'll be a space for a lot of cuttings. So step 1, create a box, and then whether you put it on concrete or on a table like this, that's up to you. Another reason why I put it on the table is there's a window behind this, and I was hoping that if some of the cuttings start to wake up, that the sunlight would still hit them, as opposed to being kind of on the floor and farther away from the windows. All right, the next thing I do is I'm going to add some insulation. So the cheapest insulation I could find is just this styrofoam that we got from Lowe's. It's literally just styrofoam. So I'm just going to line the outside, the bottom and the inside walls of this box just to prevent heat loss, because we're going to be putting heating cables in here. So I will add this and then I'll get back to you. Just need one more small piece right here. All right, so here's my insulation that I put in here. Unfortunately, I'm not super detail oriented. I just kind of cut some pieces, and I just spent 5 minutes using a steak knife and the styrofoam and laying this out just to cover the sides and the edges to basically prevent more heat loss than what would need to happen. So next I'm going to add a plastic barrier, which I'm just going to use a couple trash bags to do that with. So I'll show you that. All right, so now I have this lined, as you can see, with some simple trash bags. I only used 2 of them, and I split them in a way that I was able to just drape it over the whole container, and then I had a big overlap, and then I put some tape over the overlap to hopefully mitigate moisture seepage. But there's not going to be a ton of moisture within this propagation bed, so I'm not really too worried about moisture getting past this barrier. So our next step is I'm going to put perlite in here, and so that's all the way with perlite. So we still got about, I don't know, 4.5 or 5 inches of space to fill up with perlite. So I'm going to moisten the perlite, not a lot, just lightly. And I'm going to put down like, I don't know, 1 inch of the perlite first. And then I have heated soil cables. So I'm going to put that next. And I'll make a grid so that everything heats up evenly. And then I'm going to put more perlite on top of that. All right, so I've wetted about 2.5 or 3 gallons of this perlite, and I didn't get it like super wet. It's kind of hard to tell because the perlite almost looks the same wet as it does dry. So I'm just gonna pour this in, like so, and I'm looking just to get like 1 inch or so on the bottom, and looks like I'm gonna need at least another pail or 2 of the same, so I'm gonna go grab some more perlite. Oh, all right. So now I'm just gonna try to smooth it out so a nice smooth layer for the cables to lay on top of. Now I ordered some cables off of Amazon, and originally I ordered ones that were used for melting snow on your roof, but they had a built-in thermostat that was set for way too low, so it wasn't kicking on. So I had to get one specifically for soil, and it does have a thermostat, but it won't shut off unless the soil is 131 degrees, and then that's way too hot for this application, so we're going to have another thermostat attached to this cable. But anyways, we got some soil cables that we're going to lay on top of here. Let me go grab those now. All right, so here's our heating cables. Oops, let me show them to you. So I've actually haven't even unraveled these yet. Here's where they plug into the wall. And it says it's 25 feet, and I got these off of Amazon. It looks like it's like a loop or something, because there's 2 cables that come out like this. So I'm still not really sure how I'm gonna lay this out. So I'm gonna play around with that right now. Actually, it looks like it might be overkill for this application, but then it'll just shut off faster, I think. So if it's a loop, I want to start on the inside and then work my way in. And I don't think they're supposed to like go over each other. All right, now that I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, I'll show you what I did. So this is supposed to be a 20-foot cable that I bought, 25-foot that I bought off of Amazon, but I think it's actually more like 50 feet. And I think there's 25 feet in both directions. So it's supposed to be something that goes down a row 25 feet and will come back 25 feet. So I started in the middle, and then I kind of looped it around the edge of the box, and then I kind of did little wiggles like this, and I got that half done, and then I used it very generously. Try not to overlap the wires because I don't think you're supposed to do that. So now I'm just going to come back in this direction and kind of loop-de-doop generously. And I'm not really worried about the cuttings touching this because I'm putting this on the bottom part of the box, hoping that it's going to warm up the soil or the perlite to the correct temperature above it. So I don't think the cuttings will actually reach these cables. And if they do touch the cable, I still don't think it's the end of the world, because they're not like super sharp or anything. They're not even wet. So I'm just working this through. And this does look like overkill. I could probably do 2 of these boxes. So if I decide to do another one, then, so like this year is experimental year, but next year I might want to do 2 of these guys or 3 or whatever. Then I know how much to buy for next year or how much to use a single cable for. We're just fishing this through. We just want evenish coverage so that all the perlite warms up. And you know what? I'm just going to throw that extra. Look like this. There we go. All right, so we mostly have it zigzagged. I don't know if it's easy to see, but there's about a couple inches between the cables. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill the rest of this up with the perlite, and I'm going to plug this in actually so it can start warming up. So I'm just going to cover up these cables first real quick, just so they're not sliding around. I want them to stay right where I put them. I have it plugged in and I can already feel it starting to warm up. All right, time to grab some more perlite. All right, so we finally got the bed filled up with perlite, and I have a thermostat installed on the end of our heat cable. So that thermostat, once the heat turns to 78 degrees, I believe is a max, it will shut off, and then it'll turn back on once it starts to get cool again. So I believe the optimal root temperature growth for cutting is between 72 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I have it set to 78. As you can see, it's starting to warm up. This one right here, 71.2. So it's slowly starting to warm up. It's only been, this has only existed for like 10 minutes. So I'm sure it will eventually heat up to what it's supposed to be. And it feels warm when you stick your finger in. So the cuttings, I'll just be sticking in here just like I would a normal cutting. And it goes down pretty deep. Some considerations I have to do is to keep this area semi-moist, but not super moist. Because, if they don't have roots on them, they won't need moisture because they're not taking anything up yet. And then obviously they won't be transpiring because the plants are dormant and it's cold in the garage still. So right now it's like 28 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and inside this garage I think it was low 40s, and it's been like super cold lately. So I think it will still be pretty cold in here. And then if we do have some days that are getting to the 40s, I can crack the garage door. All right, so that's about it for our construction of this propagation bed. So some things that I'm very interested in trying are evergreens. I heard that those work really good with bottom heat. So boxwoods and juniper and even yew. I've never tried growing evergreens from cuttings before, and I'm gonna experiment with a lot of stuff. So I haven't had a lot of success with hardwood cuttings from Hydrangea paniculata, so I'm gonna try that. And whatever I have on hand. There's some plants that do really good no matter what, like willow or dogwoods or that type of stuff. I might put a couple in just to see what happens. But this year is really just an experimental year when it comes to this bottom heat and hardwood cutting situation. So I'll keep you updated. I'll take you along as I take some of the cuttings and show you as I stick them and what I'm doing to maintain them. And hopefully we'll see some rooting happen over the course of the next month or two. So if you found this video interesting, make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to our channel, and make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section below. We like engaging with you guys if you have any questions, and that also helps our channel out. So thank you for watching and have a great day.